Hello, everyone. My name is Daniel, and today I'll be talking about a concept called cortisol pumping. What is cortisol pumping? Well, on the surface, it sounds like physically filling your blood with cortisol or stress hormone like adrenaline, but which is actually a therapy done for people with Addison's disease where they can't physically create their own cortisol. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about cortisol pumping more of as a mentality, as a lifestyle. So have you ever tried? You have a big day of work, big week of work ahead of you, and you can't focus, and you're thinking, wow, there's so much stuff to do, I can't do it. Well, cortisol pumping is what I have done in my personal life to prepare myself for those weeks, for those days. And it basically makes my body in a physiological stress response in a good way so that I can grind and get to work and accomplish things. So, today, I'll be talking about 4 ways to cortisol pump. So, number one way to cortisol pump is to not eat. Now, you might be thinking, that's terrible advice. Don't eat. I don't mean starve for many days. I don't mean starve. Eat food, but at the end of the day, when you wake up, don't try not to eat anything. Try to let your body become physically hungry because that physical hunger becomes mental hunger at a certain point. When your stomach is clear, there's nothing in it, it actually allows, at least for me, your brain to focus and to work harder and to work more effectively and productively. So, and when you are really hungry and it's time to eat, try not to eat too much. Eat a little bit for lunch or eat a salad with a lot of acidic things like vinegar or lemon juice. For me, that's the best way to cortisol pump and get my brain the most sharp during the day. At night, when it's close to bedtime, that's when you eat your huge meal, rice, steak, whatever it is you eat. So, second way to cortisol pump is to drink caffeine. Now, it sounds like a cheat code because you're not like physically doing something to your body, and it is a cheat code. Caffeine in the form of coffee, pre-workout, whatever, is like God's gift to us to safely and legally complement your body's own cortisol pumping. If I'm not eating food and I'm really hungry, well, then if I just drink a cup of coffee, then that will only exacerbate my productivity and make me work harder and more focused. So, caffeine, you can never go wrong with caffeine. Too much, yeah, okay, it'll be bad. But a cup of coffee, 2 cups of coffee, not bad at all. So, in fact, excellent for you. Third way to cortisol pump is to exercise. Now, a lot of people say you got to exercise to get the blood flowing, right? I agree, but also disagree because to me, it's not about has nothing to do with blood. Blood circulates all the time. You have a heart. That's a physical pump that pushes the blood. I believe that we need exercise to get the lymph flowing. What is lymph? Well, to put it short, lymph is basically your body's lost blood. It gets lost in translation either in the cell cytoplasm or interstitial fluid or whatever. It gets lost. And up to a point, lymph can become 1/3 of the blood volume. So that means if the lymph doesn't go back to circulation, you only have 2/3 of your working blood volume. And that largely inhibits your productivity and efficiency. So, unlike your heart, though, which pumps the blood, the lymph doesn't have a physical pump pushing it forward. The only thing pushing it forward is your physical muscle movements, skeletal muscle movements. And by exercising, you're actually moving more lymph than you would be sitting down or doing nothing. So, if you really want to be the most effective in whatever it is you're doing, the most productive, you got to exercise at least for a little bit. I'm not saying go to a 3 hour workout or a 2 hour workout, but 30 minutes to an hour of basketball, running, weightlifting, whatever, is a great way to get the lymph back in circulation and a great way to cortisol pump. So, and then the last way I believe to cortisol pump, one of my personal favorites, is listening to metal music on max volume. So, cortisol, adrenaline, these are all your body's stress chemicals. When your body is in a physiological stress, like you are being chased by a tiger or you have to fight somebody, your body activates the sympathetic nervous system. It's fight or flight response. And a great way to artificially activate this is by listening to stressful and alarming music. So, what is the most stressful and alarming music you could possibly think of? Metal music. Metal music on max volume. And that's no disrespect to metalheads. I think it's actually a privilege and it's an amazing advantage over many other types of music. Metal music gets you alert, gets you awake, and gets you ready to go. So, if you're listening to metal music on max volume, that is a great way to cortisol pump and complement the not eating much, the exercise, and the caffeine. So, my personal favorites for metal music or rock music I listen to on a max volume, "Faint" by Linkin Park and "This Fire" by Killswitch Engage. Those are some great cortisol pumping songs. So, in total, those are the four ways that I like to cortisol pump. Any one of those ways on its own is a great way to be more productive and more efficient. But if all four are combined for any period of time, you're going to get a lot of work done and be very, very productive. So that's my explanation of cortisol pumping. I hope you use it one day and every day if you can to get stuff done and to get that grind going. So um, cortisol pumping is a great way to respect the grind. And yeah, thank you very much. Respect the grind with a capital G.